Now let's talk about the masculinization of women and is it to blame? Now, this is something I think that has been in the works for quite some time. Whenever you take the father out of the home and whenever you separate a family from each other, the wife doesn't have that leader protector. She has to become that. And once women get comfortable in that role, it's going to negatively affect the growth of the children because the children don't have a father. The woman is working all the time. She's not there to nurture. The daughter sees that. She sees the type of relationships her mother has. And I think that women tend to think that that's what a relationship is. That's how a woman should be. She should be in control. What do you think about the rise in masculine women now?
Yeah, it just like you said, the daughter sees that, and also the son.
Uh huh.
They're seeing that as well, and that's affecting how they act as men moving forward in their relationships. And then the women who are now going to be growing up with these types of mentalities and understandings of how to be a quote unquote woman, they're all skewed. So now we have a generation of children that are lost and confused as to what their role is. And yes, masculinity is a major part in women that has taken over, and it's become very toxic. It's very painful for me generally to
Uh
watch.
huh.
But yeah, it's all over the place. We see that women are being competitive with men. We're trying to take over their roles, but we can't actually take over any of their tasks. There's really nothing that we can fully do
Right.
to the capability of a man. However, we're out here trying to be them and show them up.
Yeah, that's true. And the I think it also comes from a mistrust too.
Oh
They
gosh,
feel
yeah.
like they can't trust a male's leadership, so they feel like they have to do it themselves. I think women know that that's not the case. You have to choose. See, all men aren't the same, just like all women aren't the same. You have to
Yes.
choose the right type of men. But if you've been exposed to a certain type of male, then you're gonna feel like, well, I can do it better. And a lot of times they can't. Some women can because that's just who they are. But a lot
Yes.
of women think that they can model themselves after what they see women do in their relationships and how they live their life, and it's just not the same. It's
It's
not
not
the
the
same.
same. It's not the same.
And they also try to play both roles too as mother and father, which I think is very detrimental to the children's growth because you can't. Just like, I know it's tough for men to try to be the father and try to be the nurturer. It's tough for them, but a lot of
Yeah.
times you've seen single fathers do that. And they've been
Yes.
able to be successful because, well, one, they're not emotional. Women are very emotional,
True.
and I think that negatively affects them, especially when they're dealing with their children or anybody personally, because they don't listen. They think what they're doing is right, and when
Right.
when it's going wrong,
Hmm.
right? They don't even want to take the blame for it.
Well, see, emotions, I think, are part of the nurturing that come from women. The only thing is when now they're trying to play both roles, those emotions don't really make sense. If you're going to be a man,
Uh huh.
then now you've got to bring out that masculinity, but not a toxic form. And that's all they know is to be toxic in their masculinity.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, and that's why I believe a lot of them cannot get into relationships. I think a lot of times
exactly.
they have self sabotage to the point to where men get with them only if they need a place to stay, if they need somebody to financially support them. Because you got a lot of destitute males out here. A lot of these males are doing extremely bad out here,
Right.
and they're willing to deal with a masculine woman as long as she's able to take care of the bills where they don't have to work.
Yeah.
And
And it tends to fall in that role anyway, right? So it
yeah,
naturally works out.
yeah, because see, they grew up in a household where they saw their mothers take care of other men,
Exactly.
and their mothers
Exactly.
babied them till they're like 30, probably
40.
40, till they
Yeah.
in their 40s, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Still living with their mother, and their
Yep.
mother still babying them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're so used to that type of treatment, they want that treatment with the woman they get with. They even will get with a woman who acts just like their mother.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
And
know?
unfortunately, again, these women who have come from that type of home, they've seen that type of male, not realizing that there are other qualities of men out there that aren't going to treat them like that, that aren't going to give them that. So they don't want the masculine, toxic woman in their life. They actually want just a feminine woman that's going to treat them right and give them peace.
Yes, and I think a lot of
Yeah.
us men want that. And
Yeah.
when we vocalize that, we
Right.
are the bad guys, but more people need to.
Exactly. Yeah. I've seen that all too many times, and it's sad to see, actually, because it falls into other things also, just in terms of like family dynamics and whatnot. Like, men trying so hard to make certain relationships work, even just to the point of trying to be a father in the home, is almost impossible with women like that. So yeah.
Yes, it is. If you want to see the rest of this podcast, make sure y'all click the link in the description box and go and check it out. Also, make sure you support the podcast, donate, share it. I'll see you next time.